when those demons get inside them girls and they start getting them breakdance moves, they start popping and locking and shocking each other.
Planet Rock.
I love the way that woman's like, you look at her, you're like, damn, girl, you got some moves in
Yeah. Pass that over to Jerry.
Yeah. Slime moves.
This isn't even going to be like hip for another 30 years.
I know. She's like, shit, let me get my cardboard out. Oh, people, let's go ahead and get into Trailer Tuesday. Boy, they are getting crazy with these sequels and these prequels. People, check it out. We have a sequel to a prequel that is a prequel to a sequel.
Yeah, how does this fall in the timeline? Because there's been 3 movies and it's a prequel to Ouija.
So we had let me do the math. So we had The Conjuring, which had the sequel, The Conjuring 2, which had a prequel with Annabelle, and now Annabelle is coming out with a prequel for the prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Annabelle was a prequel to The Conjuring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Let me get my calculator, try to figure shit out. Write a formula for this. Even Einstein be like, fuck this, man. I don't know.
And I'm sure there's some plan to have a box set where they're in their chronological order.
And you know what?
But Annabelle is so boring. You might not even make it to the other movies.
It's funny because if you have that box set and you have it in chronological order, like if it falls off the shelf, it gets mixed up, it's going to be in the order that they will release at the theater. So it's not going to matter. You can mix that shit up like a deck of cards. Ain't nobody going to know. But people, Annabelle is back. And for those of you who don't know, Annabelle, she was that creepy ass doll, the kind of doll you wonder why any kid would buy this shit.
Yeah.
Like who made this for who?
Yeah.
You know, this looks like a Todd McFarlane toy or something.
Yeah, I know there's this idea like, well, back in the 40s, they liked this kind of thing. You're like, no, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
They did not.
They didn't like none of this shit right here.
Crackhead Raggedy Ann? No.
Yeah, wasn't the real one like just a Raggedy Ann doll or some shit like
It
that?
was. Yeah, the real Annabelle was nothing but a Raggedy Ann doll in a glass case with a cross on it saying, do not open her. This bitch is going crazy.
She gonna kill everybody.
She gonna kill everybody. But you know, for the sake of the movies, you know, for the sake of dramatic and I guess fearful tension, they had to make her look a little more frightening. And it would be if she actually got off her ass and did something.
It's just all.
Yeah, just sitting there. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Because maybe, just maybe, they heard our complaint. Well, we said, you know what? This is the laziest fucking horror movie villain I've ever seen. Yeah. Don't do a damn thing.
Just sits there.
Just sits there. So maybe in this prequel, I don't know what the fuck this is anymore. Just a prequel, maybe, just maybe, Annabelle will actually get up. Maybe they'll have just off her ass and do something. Let's go ahead and take a look. We can only hope. Let's go ahead and take a look at Annabelle 2. Creation.
She was taken from us at an early age.
Oh, man, that truck didn't give a fuck about her, man. You see? That truck came out of nowhere.
I yield to no one.
I love that. It's like there's nobody else out there except a family in trouble with their vehicle.
Yeah.
And that truck is like, so?
I know. What are the odds? And that truck said, fuck that chick. I got a delivery to get to. I'm late already. Shit, shouldn't have had her little ass out in the road.
This milk is getting cold.
That shit was like a Coyote Roadrunner cartoon right there. That shit came out of, and you know, I mean, bless her, she looked both ways too.
Because there's nothing else out there.
Because ain't nothing else out there. She looked both ways and still.
Early age.
Fuck you, bitch. Oh, this shit is good already. Uh-oh. Get them popping and locking going. Ooh, August can't get here soon enough, boy. I can't wait to see how this creation got created. Right here. You know, look, I would tell you this much right now. I'm looking forward to seeing maybe there's an explanation for why Annabelle is so evil, because I kind of get it with this trailer right here, because what they're saying is, you know, our girl got hit by that truck right there. Yep. And she even said, look, I don't even want revenge. I just want to come back. I know I ain't gonna find that goddamn truck driver. That was a hit and run. They ain't never gonna find it. The law didn't find him. I ain't gonna find him.
That Jeepers Creepers truck.
Yeah. When the dude went by the truck, he stabbed another little girl on the side of his car. Another one. But She said, I don't even want revenge on that dude. All I want to do is be brought back to hang out with my loving parents and just live in a doll, for a few years. That's all I want, my soul to be there. And she was probably going to be cool. And it's funny how her parents went out the way to find the most hideous ass doll to put her in right now.
Well, no, the thing is, it looked innocent when it was going into the box, but now I don't know how I got morphed into that.
Man, even going in that box, that shit looked weird. Because when they went to the toy store, there was a whole shelf of Barbies right next to it. She could have had a Malibu convertible. She could have had a house.
But that says a bad gender stereotype. We don't want to do that.
No, hell, she could have been sexy and living in something nice and said they put her in a...
Not their daughter.
Yeah.
Let me get you a real doll.
We're not putting our daughter in the body of a whore.
Yeah. Yeah, putting this goddamn drag queen right here sitting in his old man rocking chair all day long. No wonder she's so evil. She's pissed off out of all the options you had. This shit right here. But I look at this and I get some emotion from the trailer. Because as we were saying in the last movie, Annabelle has to be the laziest fucking horror movie creation.
Yeah, she wasn't even really the villain in that movie.
She wasn't. It was, she would just, people just walk in a room and she'd just sit there and then shit would just happen.
Yeah.
With Annabelle right here, like, when I'm talking about lazy, like, you're lucky. You're lucky if you catch her just rocking in a chair a little bit. That's the most you get out of her. Or you might get you might get a head turn. And even that's lazy. I mean, I know that these horror movies, they're made for cheap, but they actually have a prop as the horror villain. Like when they do that rocking effect, what did it cost them? Just some fucking intern to make that chair move. You know what I mean?
A string on it to pull it back.
Some fishing wire. And when the head moves, it's not even like a head on a stick. No, but they do an edit for that. Like she'd be looking forward, and then they cut to some reaction shot, and then they cut back, and she's looking to the side, and I'm like,
"What up, folks?"
I'm like, "Damn, y'all couldn't afford a stick to attach to her head." But you know what? With this, I'm getting some emotion from it because first of all, I whatever little that Annabelle is doing. Actually, no, fuck Annabelle, because whatever she does, it's some cheap shit she's doing, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's some bully shit that she's doing. Because y'all saw the beginning of the trailer, in this creepy ass house where ghosts probably exist. Some shit out in the desert, like you said, looking like the Chainsaw Massacre. Something's gonna happen. But they came in with a group of little girls.
Right.
All of them healthy, all of them growing, except for that one little Tiny Tim looking ass girl crawling in there. And this bitch ass bullet ghost decides to pick on her. Don't pick on none of the other girls that can walk. And I mean scaring the shit out of her in ways, trying to always knock her down. Like when she was in that room and she's like, fuck you, bitch. Yeah, crawl. It's funny how she trying to get them legs to work. She was almost gonna run out of that shit.
Like, oh, I guess you really can't walk.
My bad. You need some help?
Like, grabbing that wheelchair and taking her, knocking her out that shit right there.
That's just mean.
It is mean. I mean, taking the chair and making the chair move.
I know.
Almost there.
Yeah, some petty shit.
Some petty shit. Taking to the edge of cliffs and knocking her ass down off of them. Yeah. I mean, that's some petty shit right there, man. That's a bitch ass move right there. Out of all the kids to pick up, bitch. But what are y'all thinking so far in this?
Well, I'm thinking, look, there's already more going on in this trailer that went on in the first Annabelle movie altogether.
No, you're right. And the funny thing is, though, it's like there's more going on, but it still ain't Annabelle. 'Cause I'm looking at this, it's like the wheelchair is doing more acting than Annabelle is.
Right. And maybe they're going to say it's whatever's in Annabelle that's doing it. I guess on the positive side, I do like the two main actors I see in here, which is I think his name's Anthony LaPaglia.
Yeah.
Because I always liked that guy. I haven't seen him in a while, and I know he's a good actor. And Miranda Otto.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like going to be one of those midnight Thursday night.
Yep. And it's gonna be a bad review. We don't want y'all threatening to unsubscribe because it's a bad movie that we can talk about. So we're gonna see it.
Well, see, that's the thing because we thought The Conjuring 2 was going to be bad, and we actually walked out of that enjoying it.
I gave that a
The
full
Conjuring
price.
1 was good.
Yeah, The Conjuring 1 was good.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, we're here. They're just milking the sequel, and it was right after Annabelle. We're
Yeah.
like, all right, hopefully it's not going to go in the Annabelle form, and it was actually really good. I think we both gave it a full price. And I like how you brought up some of the actors in here. The little girl from Ouija 2, she's in here too, and she was my favorite part of that movie.
Yeah,
oh,
she
the
was
little
great in
the
Ouija.
little
Girl that was
from-
like she gave that big speech of like what happens when you suffocate. Yeah, that her. She was great in that movie.
That girl, we loved her in Ouija too, man, and that girl is great. I guess she's just gonna stereotype herself as being in ghost movies now.
Hey, if it works,
she's
Linda
young.
Blair it up.
Typecast. Yeah, no, and that girl was great. I can't remember her name, but that's the deal with this. How do you feel about this, man?
Yeah, I was thinking, looking at the trailer, it's funny you mentioned Ouija 2 because, like, on the most positive thing I can think of is it might end up like Ouija 2, where it's a movie that's way better than you think it has any right to be. I don't have a whole lot of hope with it because, like you said, Martin, all the scares here are really cheap.
Yeah.
But that could just be the trailer being put together in a poor way. Who
Well,
knows?
you know what? The deal with this is that because I ain't trying to hate on Annabelle. I still don't like Annabelle. Like Chucky looks at her and like I put in all this work and this bitch
I know.
just,
Yeah.
this bitch just sits down.
I'm cracking jokes. I'm actually killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting in some work, and she's just like a YouTube star that didn't do shit. It's just blowing up. But I'm trying to be positive with this because I have been surprised by a lot of horror movies that are pitched in their trailers in ways that seem cheap. And we talked about it. I just showed two of them right there. I never saw The Conjuring. I heard it was good.
Yeah.
But I did see The Conjuring 2, and I thought that was really good. And for those who think I'm an atheist and is like biased, I thought the religious angle of it is what really made it as cool as it was.
Yeah, it actually added a lot to it because when you get some people kind of like The Exorcist where they're so heavily based in faith and then something bad happens to them, you're like, well, shit, how are they going to get out of this?
Yeah. And with The Conjuring 2, with Ouija, The Origin of Evil, that's the sequel to Ouija, Ouija was a horrible movie. Ouija 2.
I think this was the prequel, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
it's
it is a prequel.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
And you know what? That movie is the phrase that people use is criminally underrated. That was actually a great film.
It was a great movie.
It had way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, and both those movies sold their premises with the cheap tactics of jump scares.
Yeah.
And and this trailer is not any different. But the reason why, look, I gave up on Annabelle. I ain't worried about her no more. I'm just hoping that the movie can provide some other scares outside of that. And the reason why is, for one, I like this director. And I know y'all gonna jump my ass about this, but I'm ready. The guy that did Lights Out, the movie. I know y'all weren't crazy about it, but I really thought that movie was creative and effective with what it was doing. And the reason why is because it was effective with a lot of shadows and playing tricks with darkness. And these movies that are prequels now, and these movies that take place in this world, a lot of them are period pieces. And they look so good, man.
Yeah.
They're able to be creative with the sets. They also, because they're period pieces, they don't rely on technology too much in that time period. So they are able to play with shadows and lights and things like that because it's a period where they don't have all the technology that we do.
Yeah, and there's not that thing where you're like, well, why can't they just call somebody or just turn on a light? But like, well, no, this is 19, whatever it is. So you're like, it's going to be difficult for them to do that.
Yeah.
We used to have to go out to Tunis, Texas during the summers in the 70s and 80s, and it looked just like that.
Well, I'm going to follow your ass one day. I'm going to hide in the closet and jump at you.
No, it's the devil.
And is this a Blumhouse movie also?
Well, it is from Warner Brothers, so I don't think so. It's from
okay.
Warner Brothers and maybe, what's the other one? Because we saw them tonight, New Line.
Okay.
I think it might be from them. So
Yeah, one of the things I think where they're going in the right direction with a lot of these James Wan universe horror movies is that they tend to focus more on the kids. Because like I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, with Annabelle, they were like college age, like they were damn near adults, or they were adults.
Yeah, they were adults.
But when it came to like The Conjuring 2, and Ouija Origin of Evil, it was like messing with the kids, and that's something where you like they're innocent, but they're still getting messed with. So I appreciate it when they're going with that route because it makes you feel kind of in their shoes.
you know what? That's right. And I know if you notice, they're doing this a lot. I mean, don't think it's accidental. They're making the character seem more vulnerable. Therefore, it makes you feel more suspense and makes you scared for these characters. And it's kind of maybe somebody could call it sexist if they want to, but they have little girls. And these, you know, it's either that they're taking these cheap moves or these ghosts are going to jail because they some pedophiles and perverts. Because you know,
Throughout history, man, little girls being possessed by demons have made some of the best movies.
The Exorcist and
The
that,
Exorcist,
you know,
yeah.
so they know what they're doing there. And don't, you know, and like I said, man, there's certain things that make me a little nervous about this because I've seen this over and over again. We were making fun of it when we saw it in there when those demons get inside them girls. And they start getting them breakdance moves. They start popping and locking and shocking.
Planet Rock.
I love the way that woman's like, you look at her, you're like, damn, girl, you got some moves.
Pass that over to Jerry.
Slime moves.
This isn't even going to be like hit for another 30 years.
I know. She's like, shit, let me get my cardboard out.
That's what it was. Some little white girl possessed by a demon in Harlem was out there popping it like, oh, we got to get that.
I know.
Yeah, that shit looks fun.
I know. That's just like reverse history for black people. It was all invented by black men. Well, black breakdancing was invented by a little pop shock and a little possessed little girl. She's like, I got to cash in on this shit.
Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
But you said something earlier, and I'm, you know, this is something I do want to call bullshit on this because I remember, you know, back in the day, people were satisfied to call things prequels and sequels, but actually just sequels.
Yeah.
And then you got into the prequels, and people start to bump it up and say, all right, you know, we got so many of these spin-offs here. They're a world. And now they are trying to force that. Y'all got ambition. They're trying to get bigger. Oh, we a universe now.
Oh, no, not this again.
It's that in the trailer in the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
The Conjuring universe is like, just because you have a spinoff, you do not have a fucking universe, all right? It ain't like Annabelle and the ghosts from the Conjuring gonna get together and become the Avengers of demons and fight crime.
You don't know that.
Actually, I don't.
Yeah.
And if they
It's
go that
hardly a
move,
universe. You got a neighborhood at best.
yeah. You know what? Let me ask you something, because you and Gertz, y'all have the high score where Martin and I are not on there. Ray and Chase have the sports show. Are we the double toasted universe now?
I mean, we cross over
I
sometimes.
mean, do we cross
Yeah, we
over?
do.
Yeah, we
Are we
cross
gonna have
over.
one big show one day where we all fight
Isn't that when we
aliens?
go out to like LA and do our the anniversary show? Is that not the Avengers?
Yeah, and then we split up after that.
Well, that's how Fast and the Furious, where we all come together.
We all come together and do this. You are not stop forcing that universe shit in there, okay? I mean, come on. You know, some things are universe and some things aren't. I mean, if you actually do have Annabelle get off her ass and do something, then I would love that. You know, if I would love that there's a demon who's out there fighting some shit. And he's like, God damn, Annabelle, you gonna get up and help me?
Nah.
I'm gonna supervise as a court. Hey, you got it.
Cut away, turns her head.
Hey, you saw me, shit.
Now here's a little bit of information here about the movie. The people who are probably the most scared of this film is the studio. Because there's a lawsuit that's going on
Yes,
right
there
now.
is.
Oh.
You heard of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this lawsuit. What have you heard about this lawsuit?
That they are coming under fire because the Conjuring movies were pushed as like true stories or based off true
Oh, yeah,
stories.
that's right.
And it's coming to light that no, they're not.
Oh no, those Conjuring. The true stories the Conjuring are based off
Yeah.
were total bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, go figure. I thought it was real.
Yeah.
But like, even if you go like, yeah, but you know, I'm sure it's not as big as the Conjuring, but there's some truth to it. No.
You can say they lived in the house. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, there were two people.
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
Two con artists.
Here's the funny thing about it. Everybody believes. Everybody's so religious and believes in demons and they're so convinced it really happened until money gets involved and somebody like, man, you know, I was all bullshit, man. Give me my money. You know,
Who's suing them?
oh, it's the guy that wrote the book on Ed and Lorraine Warren, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
A guy named Daniel Brittle. He wrote this book, The Demonologist. And in that book, you know, he was chronicling the stories of Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're the guys who, the real life figures here that Patrick Wilson and what's her name?
Vera Farmiga.
Farmiga, that they play. And when the book was written, you know, it was all on the whole thing of this is fact. This is history right here. He treated this like this was a history book.
Yeah.
And then when Warner Brothers came in and all of a sudden had like $900 million or maybe less at the time that this lawsuit came around, because they were trying to stop The Conjuring 2 from being released. That's when my man who believed faithfully in all this stuff, Daniel Brittle, came out and was like,
Oh, he didn't know?
Oh, he came out like, nah, they full of shit, man. Y'all should have asked me first. So what he's saying is that this movie never should have been released or even made unless they consulted him first.
He can go fuck himself.
Yeah, and the thing is that it ain't history. Everybody knows this was bullshit.
Yeah.
Everybody, no one believed that this was real. Even the people who believe it was real, you start telling them about this and like, yeah, I knew it was bullshit all along. And
They ain't know all along, but they figured it out.
But they figured it out. And so the Warner Brothers is pretty much saying, look, this movie's coming out no matter what. We're Warner Brothers. You some motherfucker that wrote a demon book.
You go to court, we gonna release a movie.
Yeah. You keep fucking with our money, we're gonna make a ghost story about you. You better back the hell up.
It's gonna be real.
Yeah. Shit, our demon is a goddamn lawyer. Now you don't want us to get up in your ass with that demon right there. So people, don't worry about it. For all y'all like, man, I want to see the movie. Don't stop. It's August.
I'll go for it.
No, go. No, what?
I was gonna say they had a big thing last month. I want to say, or 2 months ago, about them moving the Annabelle doll because the place that Ed and Lorraine had or were renting out or whatever, they had to sell it, so they had to move the doll. So they had like a Facebook thing on it for like 24 hours. They're like, Annabelle's gonna come to life. So people were like, at one point had 3,000 simultaneous people watching it. And all you see is comments, man, she moved a little bit. Look at her head. I was like, really? This Raggedy Ann doll just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
See, people believe what they want to believe, man.
They should put her on the stand for this lawsuit.
They turn off the lights, come back on, her head's moving. See? She's pointing at the demonologist.
Man, people believe and see what they want to see. I'm kind of proud. I should have been the next. I should have wrote books. I should have been the next Stephen King. We had a pool when I was growing up, and when we go swimming at night, and we cut off all the lights. I told all my friends, I said, "Man, you hear about that dude that died in our swimming pool?" And they're like, "What dude?" I was like, "Man, there was a dude that escaped because we didn't live too far away from a juvenile detention center." And I said, "Man, this kid escaped from the juvenile detention center
and went swimming."
And, well, I said he was hopping fences in the neighborhood, and he was running in the dark, and he got into our pool. He dived into the shallow part, broke his neck, and died. I even made it scary. I said, yeah, they say he was probably paralyzed and just couldn't move and drowned, having a look at his death, from the bottom. And they were like, oh, shit, man. And one dude admitted to me that he trespassed our property. He said, hey, look, man, I ain't gonna lie. I jumped your fence, man. I was gonna go swimming one night, and I looked in that water. I saw that motherfucker wink at me, man.
Wink at you?
I said,
in the water.
Yeah, he's gonna rape you in that water, man. Yeah, people see what they want to see, and Warner Brothers wants you to see Annabelle on August 11th. It is coming out, man. Don't worry about it. Warner Brothers ain't gonna lose no money over this.
Capping off the summer.
GameFly brings to your house, to you, over 8,000 new releases and classics that are available to rent, or you can buy them for almost every system out there, current and some old systems. Like I said, man, I've been trying to put my GameCube back to work for years. GameFly is giving me an excuse to do that. And you could even try 30 days for free by typing in gameflyoffer.com/double toasted. And when you do that, you'll get 30 days for free of games and movies. Get all those things, all of them at once. Just stay in the house. Don't go nowhere because they're all going to get brought right to your mailbox. You can also bring the element of surprise every month to your home in the form of a Loot Crate mystery box. In that box, I can't tell you what it is, but I can guarantee you it is the best in geek and gaming gear. Some people say it's like having Comic-Con brought right to your home. You don't have to leave the house for nothing. You're getting all kind of stuff. And everybody likes a little surprise every month. Just a little bit. And here's another surprise for you. If you go to our link, trylootcrate.com/double toasted, and you type in bridge 10, that's the word bridge and the number 10, you can get 10% off, a 10% discount on your first crate. How's that for a surprise right there? Loot Crate, bring the mystery and the surprise to your mailbox once a month with Loot Crate. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and go over to our home, doubletoasted.com, for more videos and live streams. And remember, stay toasty.